I'll turn on. I'm going to video y'all. Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here for our seminar. Hopefully the others will show up soon. This is Mary Lynn Miles, and she is the chorus and band teacher, right, here at Newton Conover Middle School. She used to be the elementary education music person for all of Newton Conover City Schools, so she went around to all of those schools. So now she's here in one place during the day.
It's awesome.
And so she has great musical background, and she's a fun person. So I wanted you to get to meet her and hear what she has to say.
Hi,
So,
folks.
thank you, Mary Lynn.
Oh, no problem. How are you? Good. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. You're so young and fresh-faced. I used to be just like you. About 23 years ago when I started out. 23. I've been doing this a long time. And as Miss Mandy said, she knows my background because we've known each other a really long time. Too many years to even count. But I've done band, chorus, drama, African drumming, obviously. Are those not the most awesome things? Wouldn't you love to be in a class that has those? Yes. My kids love it too. We're going to go tomorrow to play for the state superintendent. I'm so excited. Dr. June Atkinson. I'm excited for my kids to play for her. I teach leadership. That's a new one on me this year. And it'll happen to you too probably, where you're just they'll say, here, teach this curriculum. You say, okay, I will do that. So I've got a new curriculum this year too. 23 years I've taught elementary, I've taught middle, and I've taught high school. And I want to know where you guys are. How many of you are elementary ed? Is it just regular old elementary ed, no specialties?
I have Spanish.
Spanish, that's awesome. You'll have a job like that. What about middle school? Yay! Yeah, the redheaded stepchild, that's us.
But even the elementary can go to 6th grade. They can be here for 6th grade.
That's right, I forgot about they have a K-6 certification. Yay, middle school. And what about high school? The rest of y'all are high school? Yay, high school. I enjoyed my high school. Well, actually, I enjoy it all. I like kids. I like what I do. And I'm glad you're here with us today. Oh, this is Miss Kaler, our wonderful principal here at the middle school.
Say that.
It's true. You're awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I recognize
Yes,
you.
I met you at
Yes.
the Teaching Fellows Orientation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost ready to graduate, or
Well, in May.
in May?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Go ahead
all
and
of
eat your
them.
chips.
I was excited we were coming back.
And we
Yeah, I
have
was
chips
telling
and
everybody
salsa
about
over there. Please
Well,
go grab
thank
you
I
some.
appreciate that. I've got to take a couple kids home.
Oh, okay.
So is everybody seniors, or?
They're all seniors.
Awesome. Getting
Yeah.
ready to go out into the world of teaching and working in North Carolina. Yes.
Yeah.
it. Most of it.
Everybody got jobs or potential jobs? No?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Because they'll do their official student teaching starting in January.
Awesome.
And so, yeah.
Fantastic. Do we have any that are doing their student teaching with us?
We have several Newton Conover. Who else in Newton Conover system? Shayna, Colt. The ones that aren't here are in Newton Conover. What's that? Yeah.
Samantha.
Samantha,
Oh, it's
3.
frozen.
Are they from Newton Conover System?
No, they're in the elementary
they're
schools
gonna be
doing
in the
their.
elementary schools. Gotcha.
Yeah, but we don't have any from Newton that are at LR right now in the education. But
I was looking for faces maybe I taught. But I
yeah,
don't see
no.
It's going to be a little hard to drink that, isn't it?
It's nice.
I froze them this morning. Sorry.
I was just like, wait.
Yeah. But this whole middle row are elementary, and the folks up front, so they could be here possibly as 6th grade teachers,
Very good.
and then one middle. Yay.
One middle. Very good. What about the guys in the back? They're just the
PE.
roadies.
They're PE.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Any math and science? Math and science. All right.
Very needed.
Very needed. I need one right now. But, Newton Conover is a wonderful system to work for. And I don't say that because they write my check every month. I've had the privilege of working in Catawba County and Iredell, Statesville, and this is my 30th year. Newton Conover is truly a family. We're small enough that we know each other's business, and for some districts, or for some people, you don't want people to know your business, but here it's a family, and when one group needs help, everybody pulls in. From the standpoint of facilities. We're so fortunate to have this beautiful building. This building is 3 years old. It's a $22 million building. It was built as a green school. It's still we try to keep it as green as possible, but every now and then you do have to break out the Clorox to kill the little germs. But we have 687 students here in 3 grades, and I think I have the best staff ever. And this lady's a part of it, and she's very talented with those drums, especially back there. And
I told them we were
her
going
singing.
tomorrow.
That's right. Dr. June Atkinson will be at Shuford Elementary tomorrow. Shuford has won a national award for excellence, and it's really a big deal. So she's going to be in town, and all the TV stations are covering it, and they've really spruced up that school. So one of these days we're going to be there.
Yeah.
There you go. That'll be us.
And that's the school Colt and Samantha are both at.
It's a great school, but please come and tour our school before you guys leave today and just sort of take a look at it. We have a soccer game and a volleyball match and a national board meeting down the hallway, but just step into the classrooms and just take a look at what
Great.
we have in
Thank
terms
you. I'll
of
tour them
technology
around.
and that kind of stuff.
Thanks.
Welcome. That's all
Thanks.
they-
Oh, no, thanks, Miss
And
Karen.
I'll keep directing folks down here.
Okay.
Are you expecting any more?
That's probably about it, but
Okay.
thanks.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that all this is probably not what everybody else has, right? I'm very lucky. I had nothing. I was in school, so we had absolutely nothing for the longest time, and I came here. I got to move into a brand new school, which was awesome, and I have the best technology. I'm so fortunate. All of our teachers are issued a laptop. So Dale sits over there because I hate it. Because I'm just not a Dell person. I'm a Mac person. We also get an iPad for our own use in the classroom. And each classroom, I think, right now has 6 or 7 computers for the students to use, 6 or 7 laptops. In our library, we've got laptops there, and we have them upstairs as well. We have a full computer lab. So we are very, very fortunate with everything we've got here. Let's talk about music as a learning tool. You're doing it right now. Students sit all day, and it's exhausting. Miss Vandy was telling me about your day on Monday. What's your Monday like?
Horrible.
Horrible. How many hours are you sitting and taking in information?
Like 8 hours.
You're kidding me. Really? What's that like?
Death.
Death. I want you to remember this when you become teachers. I want you to remember what that's like for you. And you are, at mature age. Think about the kids you're going to be teaching, especially the little tiny folks. Imagine having to sit in a chair all day long and absorb information. That is horrendous. It's exhausting. It just makes me cry for these children. And I am so glad I teach what I do. If I went into a regular classroom, if I were ever decide to do that, I would take my tools with me and I would teach the way I teach in here, where kids are up, kids are moving, kids are playing drums, they're moving their bodies, they're moving their hands, they're moving their mouths all the time. I don't expect them to sit like little zombies and just absorb what I'm saying. And I hope that you can take some of that, you PE folks, I mean, you're going to be doing a great job with that. But I hope you can take some of that and put it in your classrooms. There's an article on Facebook I was reading the other night that one of my teacher friends sent me. Maybe you saw it. It was about a veteran teacher. He's been teaching for 14 years, and he's now going into instructional coaching. You know what I'm talking about with that? Somebody who kind of helps out with the curriculum in his school. And while he was in the classroom, it never occurred to him how much time his kids were spending in their seats. And he said he followed the kids. He followed a freshman one day, he followed a senior the next day, and he kind of kept tally of how much time the kids spent in their seats as opposed to spent moving around and interacting with other people and doing projects and things like that. And he said it was 90% of the time kids were in their seats and absorbing. And that's not good. And right now you're sitting absorbing. And I'm going to fix that just a little bit. Don't worry. I like interactive stuff. He said by the end of the day, he was exhausted. He was in a horrible mood. He didn't want to do anything else. He wanted to go home instead of work on his lessons for the next day for his teachers he has to teach. He wanted to go home and sit and watch TV, and he fell asleep in front of the TV, something apparently he does not do very often. So we're not going to do sit and get lessons. We're going to get kids up and get kids moving, because that doesn't meet the needs of all of our learners. And you know about the different learning styles. I'm sure you've been learning about that at LR, right? Most kids don't learn by sitting and writing notes. They learn in different ways. This is why I became a music teacher. I don't learn that way. I learn by doing stuff. You PE people, I'm assuming you learn by doing stuff, right? I have to do it in order for it to stick. Is anybody else like that? You have to do it to stick? What about if you teach it, it sticks? Does that work for you as well? Yeah, I know my content really, really well because I can tell other people about it. If I hear something, that helps. If I can sing it, if I can play it, it sticks forever. It sticks forever. And that's what we're talking about with these kids. And music sets the tone of your lessons. As you walked in today, I know you were probably a little shy, maybe some of you, and thinking, what is this woman going to do? Does she have a clue what she's talking about? Why am I here? Why do I have to be here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon? So playing some music as you walked in. Hopefully it made you feel a little lighter, a little bit happier. And when my kids come in, I'm playing music for them when they walk in the door so that they know that they are welcome and that we're here to have a good time and we're here to learn. So today it was happy. Tomorrow I'm probably going to play, I don't know, some Eric Whitaker. I don't know if you know this guy or not, but he's fabulous. I see some people nodding. If you haven't checked out his music on YouTube, it's wonderful. You need to take a look at that. It's great stuff to play as kids are walking into an environment. It's calming, it's soothing, but it's exciting at the same time. Check out Eric Whitaker on YouTube. And that would be a good mood setter for your class. It also works really well in PE. Our PE guys often play music while kids are doing weightlifting, and they'll change the music. I think it's genius. They change the music when they're ready for the kids to go to the next activity or the next set, which they don't even have to say anything. They don't have to yell at anybody. They don't have to fuss at anybody. The music changes and bam, those kids move. You can use that in your classrooms. If you want your second graders to line up, you change the music in the room or put on music in the room or sing a song, and they might just do it for you, and you don't have to say a word. I don't yell. I just don't. You do everything with music and movements and clapping and snapping and all this stuff. I was going to start with a clapping exercise to get your attention, but didn't really have to do that. And I forget you're at the age where you're not going to be hard to get the attention. But with middle school kids, elementary kids, even high school kids, if you clap, they're going to clap after you. And then you got their attention, and you don't have to yell. You don't have to say a word to them. They're focused on you. Most of the time. Most of the time they are. And you don't have to fuss. Using music in your classroom can help fix the passive learner problem. Just taking it in and absorbing it like a sponge. Or maybe letting it go in one ear and out the other. Have you ever been in a situation yet where you've told a kid something, all right, make sure you get your field trip permission slip in because we're going on the field trip tomorrow. I told mine this yesterday. It's driving me insane. And they forget their permission slip. Have you been in that situation yet? Student teaching? You said you're not student teaching till...
They intern one day a week. So.
Oh, so you know what it's like in the classroom. But if you have the kids repeat something in a pattern or sing it back to you, or clap while they're doing it, they might be able to remember it better. The more you can engage the body, the more you can engage the mouth, the more remembering you will get. What's that? Not remembering. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm talking about. I have trouble with my words sometimes, and my kids are always like, that's the word right there. They're good at helping me out with that. But you know what word it is. You're just too polite to tell me, aren't you?
Recall.
Recall. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Exactly. And all these things to get the passive learner problem over with, using music, using movement. I never have an evaluation from that lady who was just in here that says that my learners weren't engaged. My learners are always engaged. And it's not because I'm fabulous. I'm a teacher. You know, I'm like everybody else. It's that I know how to use music to get them to do what I want them to do. Even in my leadership classes, where we're working on the 7 habits of highly effective people and we're doing debates, I'm still using music in that class, even though it's not a music class. It does help me out a whole bunch. It's a great way to assess student learning. This a formative assessment thing, when I did national boards, it just blew my mind. Really? Formative assessment? You know what I'm talking about? You've talked about these buzzwords a lot. Are you doing this at me? Okay, good. So you've talked about that. I don't really have to deal with that so much because I get positive or instant feedback immediately from my kids. Because if I sing something to them, they sing it right back to me. Or if I clap something to them and they clap it right back to me. Or if I rap something to them, and yes, I do that just to make them laugh at me sometimes. And they rap it right back to me. I get immediate feedback, who's got it and who doesn't. And you can use this in any one of your content areas. You can do it for science. If you're doing the water cycle, help me science people. Evaporation, condensation, what's next?
Precipitation.
Precipitation, is that it? No,
I
skip
taught them
something.
that this week, and we did the.
Evaporation, accumulation. What's the next one? Precipitation, then what? Is that it? Just 3? I thought it was 4.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, well I have a song about that.
Condensation.
But, condensation,
Yeah.
whatever the things are, I can't even remember. When I taught 2nd grade, the 2nd grade teachers would ask me, please do the water cycle song, because it would help the kids remember all of the steps. Of course I can't because I'm 46 and I'm old and I can't remember things right now. But they could remember that very, very easily. And we would do hand movements with all those things, and it would help them remember which word went where, and that's very, very helpful. And if you can see that the little sweetheart is doing this instead of doing this when they're supposed to, you can tell, oh, that kid's got that out of order. You don't have to have them write anything. You just can look and see, oh my gosh, that kid needs help, and I can help that kid, and do it in a way where everybody's moving together and making music together that you don't have to single them out. It's a great assessment tool. Okay, music accesses both hemispheres of the brain like nothing else does. Now, I did not give you a good example here just a minute ago, but Alzheimer's patients it's been proven that they can't remember their family members' names, which is so sad. And they can't remember very important events in their life, but they can remember song lyrics. They can recall a melody and sing it for you, something that they learned in their childhood. There's a video of a guy on YouTube, I love YouTube, a video guy on YouTube right now who's completely, I don't even know what the word would be, but not responsive, I suppose. He can't speak, doesn't remember his own wife, doesn't remember his own kids, but he can sing a song he learned in Sunday school when he was a young child. And it's a sweet story. And you got to wonder, what part of the brain is he accessing to get those memories? So the music works on the brain in a very interesting way. And you're reaching different kinds of learners like we talked about before. You're reaching those kids who need to get up and move around. My boys that sit right here in my chorus in 8th grade, Lord bless them, they're so sweet, but they have to move or they're just not going to be able to do anything. Asking them to sit still for an entire class and not do anything, I can't imagine what that would be like for them. They get to get up and move around, and that helps them remember what it is that we're doing. I have my kids stand up, sit down, move around. Everybody change chairs. Everybody go grab a drum, pull it back here. We do all those things so those kids, especially those boys right there, can get what they need from the learning styles in this classroom. And hopefully their teachers, I bet their teachers are doing the same things because we have such wonderful staff here. So you're reaching different learners in different ways. Personal thing, can't remember where I left my keys half the time. Where are they right now? Oh, there. That's my hook for my keys. They're actually there. The kids help me keep up with those. But I can sing a song from the 5th grade. Don't you want to hear it?
Yes.
Yes. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada. And we could sing the whole thing. How do you remember that?
3rd grade.
See, I was 5th grade.
But we had to stand up and do a dance. And I know all 50 states in alphabetical order.
I know. If you're playing trivia with me and they ask a question about, the state, I am on that like nothing.
You have a student.
Yeah.
It's Davis.
Oh, that's my boy.
Let him come in.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to interrupt anything.
You're cool. Have a seat in the back, dude.
Okay.
There's chips and salsa over there.
Oh,
And drink.
you just made him very happy.
It's always good.
Song I learned in 5th grade, and I can still recall it. I've got kids who, some of them were just in here a minute ago. Did you notice some of the kids who came in? Some of the ladies who came in. I had them in elementary school, and I moved up to middle school with them, which is kind of fun. And they came to me just the other day. Those 2 of those 3 came to me and said, guess what we're learning? We're learning the Constitution, and we're learning the preamble. And what do they start singing? Do you know it? We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. Your teacher should have taught you a song. Provide for the common defense. Promote the general. And I taught these children the Constitution. I taught them the preamble with these words this big when they were in 3rd grade, and they still remember it. They can still recall it. So they knocked that test out. And what is that they were working on? It was rote learning. Boring. They could have sat there with a piece of paper. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. And they could have written it 15 times. They could have said it to each other another 30. They could have looked at it and studied it for another 50 more times. It would not have been as effective as singing it. If you can put a melody with something, folks, you can get your kids to remember these rote things. And if you can get them to remember the rote things, the stuff that's at the basis of what you're trying to teach, you can move on to those higher levels of thinking in your class. They've got to have the basics, right? They've got to know your content before you can talk about theories and ideas, right? They've got to know what the Constitution is. They've got to know what the preamble is before you can start talking about ideas about freedom. I'm not a other content teacher, obviously, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. They've got to have the basics before they can move on to the other stuff. And if you can teach the basics in a fun way, have at it. I think that's so much more fun than just writing it, than just reading it, than just however else you might want to be teaching it. At least throw some music in there for the kids who learn that way. Okay, we're going to prove it. You ready to warm up? You ready to sing?
Yep.
Yay! I don't care if you are. You're going to do it anyway.
At least have Chelsea, even if
That's
Chelsea's
what I
not
tell
there,
them.
right?
I don't care. I don't care if you can sing. I'm glad. I don't want you to sing well. I hear middle school all day long. So hey, we're great. Don't worry. And the kids, they don't care if you can sing. They don't care. Stand up. You're like, oh, no, we have to skip. Put your hands out. Let's warm up. Oh, you've been sitting too long. Stretch it out, stretch it out. Oh, that feels so good. That's what my children do. And I have to say, stop it. All right. Oh, yeah. You're making me feel at home. Okay. Stretch and stretch and stretch. Get the blood flowing. Get the blood flowing. All right, my favorite stretch. And put your hands together. And, I feel so good. The PE people are like, no, don't stretch that way. You're going to hurt your Did you say that? Did he actually say
Dynamic
that?
stretching is the way to go.
I'm so sorry. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. All right. Can you sit on the edge of your seat like singers do? you ready? I'm going to teach it one time. On my farm, I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. Go ahead.
On my farm, I grow tomatoes, cabbages,
Cabbages. Oh, you guys are smart. Wow. Please come to my 8th grade chorus. All right, we're going to sing it. I'll sing it for you. If you can sing it with me, go ahead. On my farm, I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. Yeah, Davis has been my student as well as my son for several years.
Well, I wasn't actually a chorus student. I was a band student.
Yeah, but you were in my elementary ed classes. All right, here we go. Sing it if you can.
I don't know the words.
1, 2.
You will.
You will. 1, 2. Ready? Try it. On my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. Oh, that was good. On my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. On my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. 2 more times. On my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. 1 more time. On my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too. Okay, without me. Can you say it?
On my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too.
Okay, you can sit back now. So I bet you're going to go home tonight and you're going to think, on my farm I grow potatoes, radishes, and red tomatoes, cabbages, and watermelons too, because it's stuck for some of us. Some of us might need a little more repetition, but for most of you, I bet it's sticking already. How many people have already got it? And it's not going to leave anytime soon. You're going to be going through the drive-through at Zaxby's, and you're going to be going, on my farm, Margaret, and people are going to look at you like you have lost your mind. It's going to be stuck with you because we've learned in a way. We got our bodies moving, we got all that blood flowing, and then I said it for you, and then you repeated it in song, and it's going to be sticking like stuff that normally does not. It works in other parts of your life as well. When I'm trying to remember all my passwords, I sing them to myself, and it helps me remember what they are. But I won't sing them to you because you know my passwords. Okay, that veggie song is great. But how do you use these ideas in your other classrooms? Yes.
Well, I'm in kindergarten, and
Oh,
so we
yay!
use lots of songs, and like we like to make them up on the fly. So like whatever, my teacher is awesome. So like we were talking about how like smart people know that the teens start with a 1. So we'll say the teens start with a 1, the teens start with a 1, the teens start with a 1, the
Teens start with the 1. We all know it now. It's
So,
like
yeah. And like they know it. Like you'll say the teens start with the, and then they'll 1, and then they remember, but they don't remember it like till they start singing it. And so it's really cool. Like we see that every day.
That is wonderful. Keep that up.
Yeah.
Okay, repeat after me. Lining up is easy to do.
Lining up is easy to do
When you worry about only you.
when you worry about only you.
Feet together, hands by side.
Feet together, hands by side.
We've got spirit, we've got pride.
We've got spirit, we've got pride.
Sound off.
1, 2,
Say it again.
3, 4.
Sound off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Out the door. You can use that. Yeah, and you don't have to say, get in the line, get in the line, get in the line, get on the, right there in the line, turn around and put your hands down. Get your hands out of your pockets. Get your hands out of your nose. You don't have to say these things. All you have to do is, lining up is easy to do. It is amazing what the children will do for you. I'm not magic. I'm not fantastic. I'm just a teacher. And I can get every kid in the elementary schools. Middle school, so working. Every kid in the elementary school, 500 of them, will do what I tell them to. Because I sing to them. And because I make up little silly stuff and rhymes. And they'll follow what I do. And what, Dave?
And you add in some fear in there, but
Well, yeah, I'm scary. I'm scary. And the, see, if I do that, they'll do it back, and their attention is focused. And you don't have to say, stop it, look at me, stop that, look at me. All you have to do is clap. And you got them. And you got them. And that works in middle school, too. High school, I don't know about high school. They might look at me like I've lost my mind. Yeah. Yeah. With high school, I've taught high school band, and it was just a whistle. So that's how you pay attention. And you make the drum major fuss at them in high school. Her daughter. What about this one? 3 is a magic number. Yes, it is.